Welcome to G Fun Facts Online, where today we're pulling back the curtain on a world that operates in the shadows, a world that shapes history but is rarely seen. I'm talking about the world of espionage. Now, if you're picturing spies in trench coats exchanging briefcases in dimly lit cafes, you're about half a century out of date. The modern intelligence game has evolved from the theatrics of the Cold War into a high-tech, multifaceted operation grappling with threats that are as invisible as they are dangerous. So how does it all work? Let's break it down. The core mission of any intelligence agency goes way beyond just spy versus spy. It's about collection. And in the lingo of spies, collection methods are called the INTs. First, you have human, or human intelligence. This is your classic espionage. It's the art of gathering information from people, recruiting agents, interviewing defectors, and getting that irreplaceable human insight that no technology can replicate. Next up is SIGINT, or signals intelligence. In our hyper-connected world, this one is huge. It's all about intercepting electronic signals, whether that's a phone call between two targets, or the electronic emissions from a missile system. Then there's IMINT, or imagery intelligence. Think spy planes and reconnaissance satellites, giving agencies a bird's-eye view of everything from troop movements to the construction of secret facilities. A modern evolution of this is GEOINT, or geospatial intelligence. It doesn't just give you a picture. It integrates that image with maps and data to create a multi-layered analysis of what's happening on the ground. Finally, and perhaps the most revolutionary, is OSINT, or open source intelligence. In the digital age, a shocking amount of valuable information is just out there. On social media, in the news, in academic papers. The biggest challenge for agencies now is sifting through this ocean of public data to find what matters. All this information feeds into two main functions: analysis, which is turning raw data into something useful for presidents and prime ministers, and covert action, which allows a government to secretly influence events in other countries. Now, let's take a quick global tour of the major players. First stop, the United States. The U.S. intelligence community isn't one agency. It's a massive confederation of 18 different organizations. The idea is to foster competitive analysis, where different agencies look at the same problem to avoid blind spots. You've got the CIA, famous for human intelligence and covert action. You have the NSA, the Center for Signals Intelligence and Code Breaking. And then the FBI, which is unique because it's both a law enforcement and an intelligence agency, focused on threats inside the US. Over in the United Kingdom, things are a bit more centralized. The main players are the Secret Intelligence Service, better known as MI6, which handles foreign intelligence, think James Bond. Then there's the Security Service, or MI5, which is the domestic agency protecting the UK from threats at home. And GCHQ, their equivalent of the NSA, handling signals intelligence. Looking at Russia, the shadow of the old Soviet KGB is long. Its successors, like the SVR for foreign intelligence and the FSB for domestic security, are known for aggressive tactics, blending spying with political warfare and disinformation campaigns. And then there's China, whose intelligence apparatus is vast, opaque, and incredibly sophisticated. They use a whole-of-society approach. Their main agency, the Ministry of State Security, or MSS, combines foreign intelligence, counterintelligence, and domestic security all under one roof. And they've fused their military with advanced space, cyber, and electronic warfare capabilities. This brings us to the biggest change in the world of espionage, the digital battlefield. Technology is a double-edged sword. On one hand, you have cyber espionage. State-sponsored hacking is now a primary tool for stealing secrets. Agencies are also flooded with data, and they're turning to artificial intelligence to sift through it all, looking for patterns. But on the other hand, technology has made the classic spy's job much harder. With facial recognition, biometric data, and constant surveillance, the age of anonymity might be over. It's incredibly difficult for an officer to operate under a fake identity. But of course, agencies can also use that same technology to track their targets. The modern espionage establishment has moved far beyond its Cold War roots. It's a world of data scientists and cyber warriors as much as it is of traditional spies. They're tackling everything from terrorism and pandemics to climate change. And this new era leaves us with profound questions. How do democratic societies oversee agencies that must work in secret? And how do we balance the need for surveillance to keep us safe with our fundamental right to privacy? There are no easy answers, but it's a critical conversation for our time. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online.